Right now I'm going to show you how I make my pasta. I'm going to do a pasta bake, and it's going to be, as usual, my method of half raw, half cooked. And again, this isn't for people that are totally raw. This is for people that are either on their way or have no intention of ever totally becoming raw and just want to still enjoy cooking but get all of the benefits, or as many benefits as possible, of eating raw. So this is a pasta bake, and so what I'm doing here is heating up some oil in a pan, and I'm going to refry some already cooked pasta. And now I've got some pasta sauce I made, which is just tomato paste, some dried basil, dried garlic. Pretty simple. And so I'm also preheating the oven just to kind of get it warm for when we get to the bake part. So the reason I'm refrying is because, well, I like the flavor. It's very Italian to refry pasta. That's what a lot of them do with their leftovers. But in this case, with a bake, it serves a specific purpose for flavor. And that is, for me anyways, I think one of the things I really enjoy about Italian cooking, I enjoy two things. I enjoy that they use really fresh ingredients, and some of the ingredients they don't. They say overcook, they put last minute, like herbs and stuff. But I also like how they simmer sauces and, get garlic and onion and tomato flavors. So I want that simmered sauce flavor, and I want it all throughout the pasta so that I can put it into a bake, because if I was to just throw them in separately, you'd have to really bake it for a long time, and of course if you do that, you're going to cook the vegetables. So what we're doing is we're really making the bake part first by frying it in the pan, and then we're just going to throw it in a casserole dish with raw vegetables, with cheese, and then just quickly bake the top. And that way you kind of get the best of all worlds. You get the cooked, zesty Italian pasta with the sauce. You get the warm cheese throughout and hopefully some stretchiness. So you get all that, but it'll be filled with completely raw vegetables that are not cooked. So you're getting all the benefits from that. Okay, so now that we got that simmering, I'm going to put in some pasta. Oh, before I do that, I almost forgot. All the vegetables are going to be raw in the bake, but for the sauce, I'm going to chop some garlic and onion. You can also put some raw in the raw portion if you want, but I like to definitely put some in the pasta sauce, just so you didn't get that flavor, that zesty, so to cook the onion and garlic somewhat so that it releases the flavors into the pasta sauce. So I'm actually not going to cook this long, just enough for the pasta to start to pick up some of the flavor. The sauce starts to, when you refry it in pasta sauce, it starts to absorb some of the pasta sauce. So you get that zestiness right into the pasta. And again, so when we bake it, we're just going to really just quickly melt the cheese on top. We don't have to worry about that. It's already, all the marrying of flavors will already have taken place. Turn it up a bit. Just adding a bit of pasta at a time until it seems right, the amount. I have to keep in mind I have a casserole dish full of vegetables. It might be a bit of a tight fit. This one might be more vegetables than pasta, but that's okay. That's more than okay. That's probably better. As you can see, it's starting to take on some of the sauce. I'm going to turn that off now. And just for shits and giggles, I'm going to put a little red wine in there. Not too much. I wish I had basil, unfortunately I don't. I'm fresh basil. I would really go good in this, but whatever you've got, really. That's really what these pasta bakes or dishes end up being. It's a combination of just really whatever you're handy, whatever pops in your mind. Alright. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour in the pasta. I'm going to hold off and only put some in right now. I'm going to put the camera down for a sec and I need to go grab the cheese. Alright, so I didn't put all the pasta in because as you can see, room is tight. If you make too much like this, you could always grab another casserole dish and just make two, and then you can freeze some. I'm going to be stubborn and try to cram it all in, or at least most of it. So I put some Parmesan and some mozzarella. And then what I'm going to do, I just want some cheese throughout, so that's why I didn't put it all in, because I'm going to kind of mix it up just a little bit, which is hard with one hand while holding a camera in a dish that's already overloaded. But I've got the patience if you do. If not, turn me off. Actually, it's not going to take that long. There we go, good enough. And now, I'm just going to put a little more Parmesan. And a little bit more cheese. Again, somebody who's totally raw wouldn't go near this with a 10-foot fork. This is for if you're on your way and you're kind of transitioning, or you have no intention of going fully raw, and so you're looking for ways to kind of get the best of both worlds. Because with this half raw, half cooking, you get the full benefits of raw. You don't lose, if you do it right, you don't lose any of the benefits. The only real thing you're doing, though, is, and it's where it deviates from raw, is you're also making your body digest cooked things, which aren't quite as good for you. So I don't cook, not everything I do is half cooked and raw. I actually eat more raw, really. But sometimes I want to cook, not just prepare, but cook. I want the flavors and the smells and the tastes that come from cooking. Since I really have no intention of going fully raw, I mean, never say never, but so this works for me when I want to cook, but I still want all the benefits and the nutrients. So when I do when it's half and half, I do load it, as you can see. And I just realized that I just threw it in there. I didn't tell you the vegetables that was in there. I guess I should quit my day job and become a professional TV chef. What that was zucchini strips and cherry tomatoes and red peppers and red onion and fresh parsley, and I believe that was it. So we're on the final layer now. try to be careful with the Parmesan because it will be salty. And then put the last bit of cheese on. Now honestly, if I wasn't doing this on film, I'd probably put twice as much cheese. But for today, to kind of, I don't want to, turn anybody to the dark side of cheese. I love cheese, so I don't want to recommend what I would probably have done. So, and I don't really need to load it with cheese. But I'm just being honest, I probably would have. But that's good. That's plenty. That's enough. We don't want the cheese to compete with the vegetables. Okay, and that's it. Now what I'm going to do is throw it in that oven and just quickly bake the top of it. So I've got the oven on. Now I'm going to turn the top grill on and just quickly bake the top. Okay, so as you can see, I just quickly melted some cheese on top. It was in there a minute tops, maybe minute and a half, but not enough to cook it. It was just a top grill, just enough to melt it. Now I'm just going to put the lid on for maybe another minute, 2 minutes. Just as you can see, the steam's building up, just to kind of warm it all the way through, let everything kind of bind, let it set a little, and then I'm going to serve it up. Okay, so I've just taken the lid off after letting it stand for about a minute or two. And now I'm going to ladle it into the bowl. There we go. But play around with your pasta, of course, your bakes. You can put anything in it. That's the fun of them. And now, because we've already established I have cheese issues, I'm going to put just a little more Parmesan, but it doesn't really need it, as you can see. You can see the cheese, but I'm a good boy. I deserve it. Okay, so let's see. I'm looking for a tomato. I don't think I got a tomato in there. I want to try some of these tomatoes. Put cherry tomatoes in here. So that'd be really nice. You get these little bombs, these little... So it's definitely still raw. They're warmed, but they're raw. I can feel how crisp everything is. Alright, so let's try this out. I'm going to go for a cherry tomato first and some pasta. I don't know if you could hear that crunching. It was warm just enough that it's not quite as crisp as normal, the cherry tomato. But it was still raw. There was a crunch. It wasn't cooked. So then just all the tomato flavors just burst when I bit into it, and mixed with the yummy flavor already going through the pasta. And I could taste the parsley and the onion, and very garlicky. I'm going to try zucchini. Same thing. I always thought before I started going raw that zucchini you had to cook. But it's actually quite flavorful. Again, I like it just slightly warm, just like tomato, just so that it's just slightly. Just a little easier to eat, but still worth it. It's not cooked. It's still, there's a crunch, and it's got all its nutrients and juices. And it's very flavorful. Oh, I see a red pepper. You could hear the crunch on that one. So Sorry, I gotta have one more. So, there you have it. Half cooked, half raw, pasta bake. Be creative, put whatever you want in it. Just again, you want to make sure that, and this goes with really everything that I'm doing that's half cooked, half raw. You want to make sure that you're not cooking the vegetables. You're still getting all the, and that you're of course fully cooking whatever is the cooked part. So, there's another one under our belt. As I keep making dishes, I'll keep sharing. Now go cook something.